This is exactly how I plan on making my children millionaires in their 30s. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, welcome back again to the channel. If it's your first time seeing my face, my name is Oinko, and you, my darling, are most definitely welcome. Please, I'd like to ask you to hit that subscribe button down below if you end up enjoying this video. Like, share, and all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So first things first, I came to this country as an immigrant, and I've now been living in the UK for a little over 3 years. And one thing I want to do is set my children up for financial success and give them kind of a head start that I didn't have, saying as I've had to come to this country and literally start from zero. So what have I done? I've done a bit of research and I found a vehicle called a junior individual savings account. What is a junior individual savings account, you may ask? First things first, the government, in all their magnanimity, have decided that anybody who invests in an individual savings account, also known as an ISA, would be exempt from paying capital gains taxes on their returns. I'm simplifying this as much as I can because I want as many people as possible to jump on this train. So, for adults, we have a regular individual savings account, and we've also got a lifetime individual savings account. Now, the individual savings account are broken down into a stocks and shares individual savings account or a cash individual savings account. Similarly, for children, we've got a junior individual savings account. Junior there meaning it's for children. And it's also broken down again into a cash junior savings account or a stocks and shares junior savings account. Now, whatever you choose to do depends on the game that you're trying to play. But because children have literally their whole lives ahead of them, I have decided that for my children, I'm going to do a stocks and shares individual savings account, because a cash individual savings account simply doesn't generate the same numbers that a stocks and shares individual savings account would generate over the exact same length of time. Now, disclaimer, with every form of investment, there is a risk. And the risk is that you may lose all your money. So what you need to do is to invest only the amount of money that you're comfortable with, quote and unquote, losing. But if you're trying to make your children millionaires in their 30s, then you need to invest a bit more than what you're comfortable losing. And for me, that is £750 per month. So, with your junior individual savings account, you can invest the maximum of £9,000 per annum for each child. So if you've got 2 children, then that would be £18,000 per annum as the maximum that you can invest. And for you to achieve that, you would have to be putting aside £750 a month in each person's individual savings account. If you plan on making your children millionaires, I know that sounds scary, but you don't actually have to do £750 a month. I'm just using this for illustration to see how £750 a month can very easily turn to millions of pounds a few years down the line. What are we now doing? We're investing, for the purpose of this illustration, £750 a month. And we're doing that until they are 18, because the terms and conditions of this individual savings account for children is that it must be invested until they're 18. Otherwise, you can pay penalties if you try to withdraw earlier, except in the unlikely event that something serious has happened, like illness of the child or death of the child or something. But if it's just because you are bored and you need some money to play around and you've decided to now withdraw that money, there are charges that you could pay. And some accounts don't even let you withdraw it because the account is literally put in that child's name. So they are the ones who own the account. You are just permitted to deposit and view the progress of the account, give or take. So if you're curious about which individual savings account to open for your children, you can just do a quick Google search and find whatever one works for you. I personally use one by a company called Shepherd's Friendly. And again, do whatever research you want to do about junior individual savings accounts and find whatever works for you. And again, I've decided to invest in a stocks and shares individual savings account for my children because I want to maximize the ROI over the 18 years that we intend to invest for, all things being equal by God's grace. Now, let's get into the details of how this simple £750 per month is going to translate to over £1 million. If you just open your phone and put any compound interest calculator, it's going to be on the screen because I want you guys to follow me. But we're going to do just a simple compound interest calculator, and we're going to assume a mid turnover rate of 5% per annum, and that is just being conservative, and that's a medium risk account. So assuming that we're starting with zero because we don't have any money to put in this child's account, we're literally starting with zero. We don't have any lump sum. I'm going to put the initial investment and change that currency to pounds. Put the initial investment at £750. And we're going to do that at 5% annually. And again, we're going to do that monthly until they are 18. So it's going to be 18 years, 0 months. Deposit amount monthly is £750. And we're not going to increase that. We're going to leave that annual deposit as zero. And we're now going to calculate how much that's going to give. With, again, a conservative rate of 5%, we've seen that the total amount of money that we've put now is £162,000 at £750 per month for 18 years. And that has given us £263,000, meaning that we gained over £100,000 in interest. Isn't that just crazy? Now, at this point, your child is 18 years old and you have now given them a huge lump sum of £263,000, which they can use for anything that they want. It could be to buy a property, it could be for their university education, it could be to buy a nice car, whatever the case may be. You can now give these children their money at the age of 18, because what happens is that individual savings account that you open for your children automatically gets handed over to them at the age of 18, which is why it's really important for you to teach your children about money. Because you can imagine handing over £260,000 to an 18-year-old. I can bet you that they are going to live la vida loca with that money and live like there is no tomorrow. So the onus is on you to teach them about money so that they don't squander all this money. So at the age of 18, they are now adults and you have instilled in them the importance of investing, savings, you've taught them about money and all that good stuff. So now they've decided that they want to keep on investing for themselves, because what happens is this account gets automatically transferred to the children at the age of 18. So they now have autonomy over the account and they can either choose to withdraw the money all in cash or keep investing. So now let's assume that they've chosen the latter, which is to keep investing. We're going to jump back on that compound interest calculator and we put the initial deposit as £263,000 because we're assuming that they want to buy something nice for themselves, they want to go out or whatever, and we're going to put that in an investment account that tracks maybe the S&P 500. And so over the past few years, the S&P 500 has given an average return of 8 to 10%. So assuming that it continues to do that, we're going to put that annual return at 10%, and from 18 to let's say 32, because at 32 there are full-blown adults who probably are married or have children or whatever. We put that at 32. So 18 to 32 is an additional 12 years. So we're investing for 12 years, and now we're going to drop this deposit from 750 because at this point they're young adults, they don't have any money. We're now going to drop this investment to £200 a month because it is now their own responsibility to keep investing, not yours. They're not relying on bank of mom and dad. They're just relying on themselves. And then when you punch that into a calculator, they have £900 £224,000 in just 10 years, in just 12 years. If you want to be a bit cheeky and challenge them to push that a bit further, because this is just up to age 30. Let's say you want to be a bit cheeky and push them to age 35. So instead of 12 years, they're now going to invest it for 17 years. And we punch that in another calculator. They have £1.5 million in their 30s by just investing £200 a month, which is very, very feasible for an 18-year-old who's working and still living at home, or even going to school and still living at home. Because what are they using money for? They literally live in your house for free. They eat your food, they drink your water, they do everything. What children use their money for really is to go clubbing, partying, buy expensive things that you don't really need, buy the latest phone that they don't really need. But you've taught them about savings, you've taught them about investing. So now they know that £200 a month for the next 17 years can set them up for life. And they're left with £1.5 million. And you know what? They only invested £40,000 in 18 years. Do you see the power of compound interest? Bearing in mind here that you, who was their parent, invested £750 a month, and you invested over £100,000 for them to get this £263,000 up to age 18, from 0 to 18. But they, at age 18 to 35, only invested £200, and they have now gotten 1.5 million in even a shorter time frame than what you did for them, because you did all the legwork for them. And should I now burst your brain even more? All this money is tax-free. Can you believe that? Like, imagine having £1.5 million that is tax-free. By any standard, that is a lot of money. And even corrected for inflation for the next 35 years, that is still a lot of money. I don't know about you, but honestly, this seems like the best vehicle to set your children up for life and to give them a brilliant head start. Now, I know that £750 a month is a lot of money to invest, and I only did that for illustration purposes to show you how you can actually make your children millionaires, because I spoke about this in my video earlier, where I've talked about how moving to the UK changed our marriage, and I encouraged you to, instead of sending your children to nursery, maybe open a stocks and shares ISA for them and see how you can manage your expenses so that you don't actually have to give the nursery all that money. And we used the illustration of nursery fees at £1,500 a month, so we're only using half of that at £750 a month. Let's use numbers that are more manageable, and now we're using £100 a month. So we're going to punch that into the calculator, an interest rate of 5%, and we're doing that for 18 years at £100 monthly, and we're going to achieve £35,000 at age 18. That is with you investing just £100 a month. You see that how your child's life can change so dramatically, because imagine giving your child a head start of £35,000. Now, you've taught them well about money, so they're going to invest that £35,000 as their initial investment. And now, because they are now in an adult ISA, it's generating an average of 10% instead of 5% in a child's ISA. And again, they invested for another 17 years till age 35. Again, still maintaining £100 a month. Let's punch that in. And they have £243,000, which, by the way, again, is tax-free. I don't know about you, but honestly, when I came to this country, I started from zero, literally scratch, nothing. Absolutely nothing. And what I don't want is for my children to be in that exact same position or similar, because they are children of immigrants. So that's why I'm being proactive about trying to set them up for a better landing, a softer landing than I had. And that's why I've decided to take matters into my hands by investing in this ISA. Now, I know that somebody may say, oh, what if the stock market crashes, this, that, and the third, but that's why it's for 18 years. Even if the stock market crashes in 18 years, it's going to ebb and flow. It's going to be up and down. It's going to go left, right, and center. But one thing is for sure, it's going to always rise back up. So again, that's why it's important for you not to put money that you need. It's only important for you to use money that's disposable income, which is why I brought that back down to 100. And again, do whatever works for you, even if it's £10 a month. £10, do you know what? Let's do £10 a month, because I can guarantee that it would still give that child something. So even if it's £10 a month that you know that you can part with, do it. Do £10 a month. It will give that child something that they can use to make their landing a bit softer in life. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, I'm sure that you'll love my newsletter. It is down in the description box. I talk about money in my newsletter. It's called Sweet Money. I share every single thing I'm learning about money in the United Kingdom. And if that is a topic that interests you, then I'm sure that you will love this newsletter. The details to my newsletter is down in the description box of this video. So please sign up for my newsletter. I send out weekly articles, and I would love to hear your feedback. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've learned a thing or two about junior individual savings accounts, junior ISAs, and whatnot. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Again, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.